ashes than dust. I would rather that my spark burn out brilliant blaze than I should be stifled by dry rot. I would rather be a superb meteor rather than every atom of a magnificent globe than a sleepy and permanent planet. Our proper function is to live, not to exist. I will not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time now. A big message there. Our proper function is to live, not to exist. I will not waste my days in trying to prolong them, but use them for good. So what is this writer telling us? I would rather be ashes than dust? Meaning what? To be dust, I believe, means to have not truly lived, but just have floated around, landing here or there, no destination, no intention. I would rather that my spark should burn out in a brilliant blaze than it should be stifled by dry rot. This means that we're willing to live and experience life rather than sit around in a complacent stupor. We call these people the walking dead, or the ones that have not yet woke up and lived. But I dared. We dared. We actually dared to live a life on purpose. And I will go out in a blaze of glory. A blaze of glory. Yeah. I would rather be a superb meteor, every atom of me, a magnificent globe, than a sleepy and permanent planet. So the writer is telling us to live, to risk, to follow your dreams. So to do this, we must be willing then to shift our consciousness, and we must be willing to face change. And we have a fine example of that here in our own spiritual family, and that would be none other than Renee. So let me tell you a quick story about Renee, with her permission, of course. So on July 17th, which was a Friday, Renee went to work. And she had been having some difficulty with her, not her boss, but the person who owned the salon that she worked in. And the boss was not wearing masks, and she had been exposed to COVID, and she and her other partner that worked with her and asking her, that you have to be conscious of our customers and so on and so forth. Long, boring story short, that afternoon, the owner of that salon came in and said, basically, I don't like your attitude, and if you're so unhappy here, leave.
Wow.
Okay, so that was on Friday, July 17th. So now, months ago, Renee and I were talking about, she said maybe in March when my lease is up, I'm thinking maybe I might move to Tennessee. Then I had even a conversation, and I had a conversation with the Dirk and Brenda, and I said, well, if Renee's going to Tennessee, I'm going to Tennessee. Well, then Dirk and Brenda said, well, we were thinking about Tennessee, so we're going to Tennessee. And that was kind of like a joke. We were all moving to Tennessee. So Renee had planned to go in a few weeks to see her parents, so she decided to get in the car and go now, right away. Now, in the middle of all that, of course, the cafe downstairs wasn't finished, so somehow she brought in her Wonder Woman elves, and they all came in and did that, and somehow she drove there. So being there, she did 3 job interviews, decided to buy a house because her dad said he would help her, came back here, sold 7 pieces of furniture, packed half of her house, turned around and went back again, left her car there, came back with a U-Haul, and today is August 2nd, and tomorrow she's leaving and moving to Tennessee. How does somebody do that? I don't know. And one of her faults is she won't accept help. So she did this basically with her son and herself by herself. So to do this, we must be willing to shift our consciousness and be willing to face change. And it's a matter of, here's how spirit works with us. When something flows easily and effortlessly, and it just falls into place, one thing after another, after another, after another, we find that we're on the right path. Spirit is telling us. When she called me and said, I just got fired, I said, well, the universe has hit you with a brick to tell you need to move on. And that's exactly what happens, because she was talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. But all of a sudden the universe said, move. And she did. In a little over 2.5 weeks. I thought I got here fast in a month. Well, forget it. She outdid me, but she's also 25 years younger. So anyhow, so here's what you need to know about change then. Change can come upon us at an accelerated speed, as it did with Renee, or it can warp in slowly, or we can resist it. But then it becomes this unwanted experience that brings upset and chaos. It's really interesting because last week after service, we were talking about like changing the service a little bit. Where do we put the daily word? How do we light candles? Do all this great stuff. And I said, how many times in the past month, 6 weeks, we're trying new things. We're trying new things. Nothing's set in stone. We'll see how it plays out. Yet I come in on Tuesday morning and there's an anonymous letter with somebody that didn't have the nerve to sign their thing. Why are you doing change? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it? And I looked at Jules and I said, what the hell? I said, nothing's set in stone. I'm asking all of you to give me input, but not in an anonymous letter. Not in an anonymous letter. I threw it in the garbage. So what we must know is change is constant. Change is constant. And if we want to keep up with what's happening now, we know that everything is changing day to day to day. So resistance has to go away. We can choose to go back towards safety or forward towards growth. And right now we have no choice. It is go forward. Because if we stay stuck in yesterday, oh my God, yesterday was awful. I'll say that again. Yesterday was plain awful. So, and that's what Annie says in the play Annie. So further, to do this, we have to be alive. We must walk the talk and talk the walk. But now I even changed my mind on that. We must be the walk. We must be the talk. The way we live cannot and perhaps should not be altered by our mood or who we are with, but rather with the way we live in according to spirit, the universal life itself. See, I prayed wrong. I had asked for spirit to show up in my life, to dance with the beloved. Remember I always said when I came here, I wanted to dance with the beloved. In that I've been spirit driven, but like you, I've been seeking instead of knowing. We keep seeking and seeking, and how do I do this? And spirit show me, and universe hit me with a brick. But it's knowing. Knowing. I wrote prayers for Renee, and I didn't ask this and this and this and this for her today. I said, this is what I know. Her trip will be safe. The bank papers will flow easily and effortlessly. Her mom will be better. Her new job will be perfect. This is what I know. And this is how we pray. You don't have to get, oh, I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to pray. Yeah, you do. You say, Spirit, this is what I know. This is what I demand. This is what I believe. But you have to do it and be alive in it. With passion. It has to be backed by passion. Does that make sense? Yes, it has to be backed. So each one of you are given an opportunity to be the light, to be the love, and entrust each week. And I become bigger and better as a person, as a true messenger of the word and of the world. And sometimes, most of the time, I'm on fire. And that fire is the desire to love and the willingness to become beautiful, burning ashes, never dust. Can you ever picture Renee Makuta being dust? No way. She doesn't even allow dust. So I believe that. I believe that each one of you have the potential to be just who you are. Each one of us can be the Christ consciousness. Each one of us can be the Buddha. Each one of us can be Mother Teresa. And you say, but those are extraordinary people. Well, I have a news flash for you. So are all of you extraordinary people. We seem to have a tendency to put them up there on a pedestal and go, well, I'm just a mere mortal. Well, all of them are just mere mortals too. All of them. And they all have fallen off their pedestal. I think about Jesus when he ripped apart the temple and threw the money changers' money all over. I would have liked to see that. So, yeah, think about it. I like the wine part too. So a poem by the 14th Sufi mystic Hafiz sums up what I'm saying to you. I am glad that my master lived in one house when I began to traverse the early stages of love. For when he would speak of the wonders of the beauty of creation and began to reveal the magnificent realities of God, I could not control my happiness and would commence on an ecstatic dance that always resulted in a tremendous encore. Makes me think of Ed and Rodney. So I dive head first out the window. The friend was very kind to you during those early years. You only broke your nose 17 times. And this is when shift begins to happen. When we are willing to embrace all of life with its moments of ecstasy, knowing that sometimes we may fall out the window and break our nose one more time. When we look at the good in it, and thank God our master lived in only a one-story house. But now, of course, we don't have to dive out of windows to be alive, but we need to be so alive that spirit and happiness exude out of every pore that we have. Remember the poet Rumi. Rumi always was intoxicated with the love of God. He was drunk on the love of God. Churches and centers, places of gathering, two or more, anywhere in the beginning, were places of abundant joy. Jesus loved to party, and he made wine. I remember when I first came here, it's so funny. I'm telling on you, Tom. So it was so funny. So I was very dismayed because there was no happy hours here. I'm used to New York and California happy hours. You go and everybody's there and they bring you free food and drinks. And I talked about it, I guess, a lot because I'm on a happy hour. And Tom says, do I have to worry about you and drinking? I said, no, Tom, you don't have to worry. So, and I think I've proven that. So anyhow, so what do we want to be? What do we want to be? How do you get there? Jesus said that life was happening through him. And this is exactly what we say. God in me, as me, is me. We say this, but do we think on this? Is your life a center of authenticity, vitality, creativity, forgiveness, and love? See, when I look out at you, I see a sea of untapped potentiality. Each one of you still has so much more within you that is just waiting for you to say yes to it so that it blossoms and grows. And I see it in me because all of you are a mirror to my soul. But I too am a mirror to your soul. But we are the people who are willing to do what it takes to shift consciousness to a higher level. We are the people willing to risk. So in order to shift, we need to realize that all of life, including spirit, is our journey, our path to evolution. But first you have to have involution. Involution means God is involved. That's what involution. So you have to go to that place. You have to go to spirit. And then from involution, you go to evolution. God is involved, bring spirit in, and then your life, it's cause and effect. Cause, involution, effect, evolution. So if you're comfortable right now, close your eyes, settle in. And I want to ask you to go back 4,000 years. 4,000 years. Feel that angry God of the Old Testament. Hear the thunder and see the lightning. Hear God speaking. See yourself being told to sacrifice your child. How do you feel? Now move to 2,000 years ago. Be on a hillside. Hear the teacher Jesus speaking of God's love. See the miracles. See how the teacher moves from the crowd, takes time to pause, to refresh, to reconnect with the one living spirit. Now, allow your heart to fill with love and forgiveness and peace. And know with me now that there is forever an evolutionary ongoing story in your life. And know that this story is in accord with all of nature, and that you are the bigger part of this evolving story. And that, like the story, you must also evolve and move forward. Being always a part of yesterday, but knowing today, the now, this moment creates your tomorrow. This is your sacred time. This is your sacred life. This is the moment you shift your consciousness to who you really are. Pure love. True perfection. This is the time you dare to live and be a light upon the world. Always shining brightly. So what I want, what you want, is to commit to ourselves and to each other and to this center to be fully alive, to live in this moment in time, knowing that all life is a continuing story of evolution, and that times change. And as they change, our thoughts, our consciousness will change with it. Not only do I want to make a difference in this world, but my dream is for each of you to know that you too make a difference in this world. And together, through this center, that is exactly what we will do. Make a difference in this world. Emergence. This is a word that sings in my heart lately, to continually move forward beyond my comfort zone, to reach out and create all that Spirit directs me to do. So the question that I ask as you get ready to leave here today, are you with me? Are you willing to continually move beyond your comfort zone? Can we all emerge to a higher level, feel the light of God wake up each cell of our body, renewing our minds and souls? No longer do we live as dry rot, but instead we glow with the magnificence of a fire burning bright, spreading our light wherever we go. So today, know with me and accept. Shift happens. Change is constant. And when you're ready, slowly, gently, come back to this room with a sense of peace and tranquility that you've never felt before. Welcome home. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for all of their love offerings and their donations. And thank you to all of you that are out there in live streaming land for all of the PayPal donations that you send in and the checks that we find in our mailbox. Some of them aren't even mailed, but we accept them. Thank you so very much. And I was asked to shorten our offertory prayer, and I do listen. So would you say the offertory prayer with me? The love of God inspires me to give in a spirit of generosity. I give with love and joy to ensure the growth of this ministry and this unity center. And so it is. Thank you, God. Thank you so much. So do we have any August birthdays today? Any? Mike? I do. Come on up, Mike. Come on up. You got it. The camera's got to see you. The camera's got to see you.
Anton? Wow.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you doing, Tom? I was going, what's wrong now? Okay. And do we have birthday music?
Yes.
We do. Okay, let's hear
Oh,
it.
music? No.
No.
We're doing a cappella.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. Spirit's blessing you now. Spirit's blessing you now. Spirit's blessing you, you're wonderful. Spirit's blessing you now. Okay, thank you. Oh my goodness, it's big. Thank you today two days. Volunteers, Tom, Mary Ellen Clover, and Dave Foley, thank you so much. And thank you to Rodney and Ed, who have set up the whole downstairs for cake and coffee after our Sunday celebration and all the work they did this weekend to help me. And to Danny for getting the chairs out of the shed so that we can go outside and enjoy the beautiful day that we're having. So thank you. Today at noon, this part of silent auction closes, so check, and if you want to make any bids, go back and do that. I'm so proud of all of you because everything that is there has been bid on, and the last one that we did, everything was bid on. So thank you to all of you for just coming forward and supporting us. I really appreciate that. Men's Fellowship next Saturday on August 8th. You guys gonna have food this time? Yay, food, guys. Next Sunday, August 8th, food at the Men's Fellowship. Women's Circle of Friends, Saturday, August 15th. This will...
That we're not sure of yet, but...
We don't know if they're having food or not, but anyhow, you're still gonna be together on August 15th. Fall Book Club begins September 9th at noon. And I will be doing that meeting. There's a possibility that date might change because, you know, my friend who died and I went to New York, I mean, she got sick and I went to New York. Then she died and got sick and I got COVID and then I came back. Now they want to bury her ashes and they want to do it in September. So I'm not sure when that's going to be. So we might have to shift that date around. Volunteers needed to do platform positions, get involved. So we have David and we have Tom, and I'm going to speak and see if we can get Martin and Annie back for 1 month this Sunday. But it's real simple. You read the daily word, you light the candle, and then you light all of those candles. We need platform people back again. So anyone who would like to be a platform person, just see me. The more we have, the less you have to do it. So if you do it once a month, every 6 weeks, that would be great. But Danny, you would be great on that too, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know. And Derek and Diane and the other Diane and Sherry and Mike. So we have a lot of people that just volunteered. So it's great. And just to shift gears a little bit, last week when we were singing our closing song, and it was, you know, just trust the wind. And then when John Lewis says, so I say to you, walk with the wind, brothers and sisters, and let the spirit of peace and power, everlasting love, be your guide. And so I thought we would close live today with that song again. If you would all get up and join us in song.